What's going on, sports fans, and welcome to another installment of Insights from the Locker Room. I am your host, Derek Bone Crusher Dennis, in the building, along with my co-host,
Tyler Moose Johnstone. We have a nice, very special episode for you today because one of our mutual good friends and training partners, Brittan Golden, is back in town. Been searching for a job for a little bit. He's got a job.
Me and Britt go way back.
Yeah, you guys go back. I remember I felt really left out.
I felt flats.
Yeah,
way back.
Yeah, I felt left out when I first got to Fisher.
NFL
you guys were
rookies,
all cool and all that, and I thought I had been, building good rapport, and then you guys were better friends, and I just got super self-conscious.
No.
And
hey, you know how it is. You know how it is. Sometimes you know, in the football path, you meet people along the way, and it just so happened to be that, Britt been my dog.
Absolutely.
We linked up way before we actually got to AZ.
Yeah.
So Britt, tell us a little bit about yourself, though. Thank you for coming on the podcast, first and foremost. Thank you to everybody that's been listening to our podcast every single week. We had some technical difficulties with our last episode, so there was we got caught in the fire.
Yes.
We're growing.
Right now, Tyler and I are hitting the rookie wall in podcasts, and we're trying to push through.
We're pushing through.
We're pushing through.
So with that in mind, thank you so much for listening. Make sure to like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff.
Yes.
Now, Brittan, tell us about you a little bit. Where are you from? You play football. You wanted to play baseball.
Yeah, just give people a little.
Just let us know about it.
From West Texas, middle of nowhere.
West Texas, middle of nowhere, like what city?
Like
Armadillo.
No,
what was it called?
That was where I went to college.
Oh, I thought you was from Amarillo.
I grew up over there by Midland, Odessa. The whole Friday Night
Lights.
Lights.
Friday Night Lights. Yeah.
I didn't go to school there.
No.
But I was like 30, 45 minutes where I grew up, and then I moved another like 45 minutes up the road when I went to high school.
Word.
What high school you go to?
Denver City High School.
Denver City.
Is that like one of the good high schools in Texas? Yo, because you know what it is? When you play football, you meet a ton of guys from Texas. You're just naturally going to meet, because Texas is a very popular football state.
Yeah.
So most guys think Texas football is the greatest thing to sliced bread.
Because you'll have small towns where the entire town will shut down for a high school football game, and there will be like 10,000 to 15,000 people in the stands for a small high school football game.
Well, that was us. I mean, we didn't have 10. We had like 4,000 or 5,000.
But how many people were in your city?
It was like
what was the population?
5,000 people, in that was the population. Like,
that's crazy.
It was ridiculous. Might have been under 5,000, to be honest with you. But Friday night, like I'm talking like red and white shoe polish on all the businesses all down the street. The only thing really open was like all the stuff that was open like all night, which was like the 24-hour gas station, McDonald's.
Waffle House.
We didn't have Waffle House, bro.
Damn.
We had like Pizza Hut, McDonald's. Bro, we had the town had like 5,000 people in it.
What was the biggest city closest to you?
Like city?
Yeah.
Would either be Lubbock or Odessa.
Odessa is a city?
I mean, to us.
Wow.
We in
that's
West
crazy.
Texas, bro. Or Lubbock, with Texas Tech at.
Yeah, that's small too. That's like basically just a college town.
Oh yeah, if you want like city,
like a
Dallas,
million or more.
Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio type, you had to drive at least 6 hours to
That's
get to Dallas.
Nuts. Texas is so big, it's like you forget about it sometimes. I drove all the way across Texas before. Oh, it was
like
a day and a half part of the drive. Yeah,
it's like an 18-hour
Can't
drive.
do it in a day.
Like from my house right now,
from like New Mexico to
outside of Houston.
Yeah,
from Phoenix to like I'm in Katy, so I'm on the west side of Houston, so it's like 16 and a half.
I'm familiar with Katy. My quarterback's from Katy.
Oh yeah,
Shout out Bo Levi Mitchell.
Yeah.
So where'd you go to college then?
West Texas A&M.
West Texas A&M. How'd you get recruited out of West Texas A&M? What is that? Is that D1, D2?
D2, yeah.
All right. So what was it like being recruited out of the D2 to go to the NFL?
I wasn't. Like NFL.
Yeah,
recruit?
yeah, like NFL recruit.
It was. Slow.
I mean, Britt was the man. You was the man in college, huh?
I mean.
Go ahead, toot it. Go ahead,
toot it. Toot it.
Go ahead and toot it. Go ahead and toot it.
You know, man, I had some good stuff going on, man.
I've seen a couple of your highlights.
I led in touchdowns every year.
Yeah, wide receiver.
I had 1,000. My senior year was 1,000 yards, but my junior year was like almost 900, and my sophomore year was like 950.
Damn,
that's not bad.
That's 3 solid seasons. Yeah.
I didn't get
with the D2 quarterback too.
Ooh, D2 quarterback though. He plays for the Commanders, the AAF now. Justin Vaughn. He's one of the backups, which he should be the starter, but I don't have no control over that. Yeah. But he was a boss.
At least he had a good
Oh,
quarterback. Yeah.
6'5" too, and he was a
He's
sophomore.
big.
That'd
I
be
see him
hard.
at the game. He's a pretty big quarterback.
Yeah.
That'd be hard to be a receiver, man, because like it depends. So like if you have a trash quarterback,
Oh, you're done.
well then you have no numbers. So you're not gonna get
He broke every record quarterback wise. Like he holds most yards at. I think he started 3 years.
Yeah.
And he threw for over 13,000 yards.
Woo.
That's a lot.
That is so much.
Woo. That is pretty impressive.
You guys were tossing.
We had some dogs.
Did you
though,
guys ever win the D2 championship?
No, the year after I left, Dustin was the quarterback, and they had Kyrie Robinson. He used to play for New Orleans, running back.
Running back.
He was out there killing. Bro, they had a lot of dogs, bro, but they went to the semifinal right before the national championship. They lost to some place over there by Wake Forest.
I have no idea.
I have
No
no idea.
idea.
I know nothing about D2 football.
Yeah, see,
I played
That's
Division One.
that's what I'm saying. So like I know
Go
nothing
ahead
about
and toot
D2.
your own horn right
No,
there.
I'm just saying. I played Division
Too
One. I
late.
know nothing about
Doesn't
D2
matter.
football. That's
Go
a
ahead.
self-suck?
I mean,
Yes,
the
it's
guest
outside.
wants it. The guest gets
You
it.
came out with it.
That's fine. I'll take it.
I'll
I'll take it. I'm glad to take it.
So
So
I'm surprised we don't have a big baller fine. I guess it kind of goes under self-suck, but big baller fine's a good one too. Like, fine me, I don't care. I have the money. That's a big baller
that's
fine.
big, that's big.
We'll have to add that one later on.
I'm not a big baller.
We'll have to add that later on.
Not until
this-
CBA gets hashed
Yeah,
out.
God. Oof, don't get us started on that.
Yeah, no.
So coming out of D2 though, because like you got two guys that are we've been in pro football. I've been like a few years. You've been several more. Like what is it like getting scouted out of D2?
You got to be like
You gotta be
the
good.
man though.
Yeah.
Like I had good numbers, but like
Yeah.
my scouting thing was still like we had scouts coming in every week, but it was just like, come in and talk to you a little bit, write stuff down at practice, and then.
Did you have to go to like a D1 school to work a day pro day or something?
I did my pro day at West Texas, and then I went to Abilene Christian's pro day as well.
Abilene Christian, you normally have some guys come out of
Yeah, they've had some. You got Johnny Knox, Edmund Gates, Bernard Scott.
Yeah. They got a lot of dudes in the NFL right now.
They have some Taylor Gabriel with Chicago.
Yeah.
Balling. Got that big money payday this year.
Yeah. Speaking of that, so right now, you've been spent 5 years in the NFL now? 6?
Yeah.
Came out 2012, right?
Yeah.
So you've been in the
Well,
NFL
this would be year 8, but I didn't play last year.
Well, I mean, at least for your credit. Well, you got at least
Credited. I got 5 credited.
You got
seasons.
5 credit seasons.
Yeah.
Yeah. For people who don't know, that's for a D2 guy to have 5 credit seasons. That's
You only get a credited season
That's
if you
balling. If
are
you play.
if you're in 3 games.
dressed
Yeah,
and you
At
play.
least, and
You gotta be 3 games.
Yeah, so it's tough. It's kind of like every credited season you get like extra stuff added to like your pension.
Yeah.
There's more like the more credited.
Oh,
seasons
you got
have,
NFL pension though.
Yep. Yeah,
Ooh,
he
that's
does.
big.
Big
I just
time.
got to make it 25 more years, my guy.
That's it. That's the worst part about pension. They don't give it to you. They give it to you right at the mark where you might make it, you might not make it.
Exactly.
55 years old, I know a lot of
Hey,
people that
football.
ain't make it that long.
Hey, listen, a lot of people don't know football put a lot of wear and tear on the body. So for most of us, when we hit 45, we feel like we 60.
Yeah, I'll need a knee replacement. They said
For sure.
It's not if, it's when. And they're like, you drop down to 235, 240 when you're done playing football. Then you won't need one until you're 55.
Y'all be banging.
that is-
Y'all get your legs taken out. Y'all be banging every play. It's a different story when we get banged, but it's not like it used to be.
It's like it's not. You can't
There's
get
so
like
much
cheap
I
shots.
for sure got CTE. I already got it.
Oh, I believe it. I probably got it too.
I probably got it.
Everybody, I feel like that's played football as long as we have. Has got.
I mean, it comes with like I understand like people riff about the whole CTE thing, and it's a big issue.
It is.
It is. But I mean, I feel like if you're gonna play football, you kind of already know what you're getting into.
Well, that was my whole deal about the defenseless receiver joint and all that. And we appreciate it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, we knew what we was signing up for back in the day.
Yeah.
We watched Steve Atwater on TV. Guys like that who just I don't want the interception. I just want to knock you out.
Yeah.
Because as long as you don't catch the ball, I'm winning.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If I get an interception, it's just bonus.
That's nuts. Yeah, I couldn't imagine being teed off just blindsided like that. I think
Right.
I've been blindsided one time, but it was so clean.
I love it.
I was just on my
That's
back.
why I
was
love
like,
playing football. I
Man.
just like inflicting pain. That's the best part about it.
Oh yeah,
feel
I
like
like
now that-
giving it out.
now-
I like being blindsided.
Yeah, but that's the element of football. I feel like that's the essence of the game.
Yeah.
Now that they're making all these rules and they're trying to save and player safety, it's like, bro, we play the most savage sport known to man. There's no such thing as safety in this game.
My thing is you want to do all the the safety talk and this and that, but nobody's got guaranteed money.
Nobody's got guaranteed.
Of course, because they know you're going to get hurt.
That's the thing.
You're
playing the most savage game, but you're the only professional sport that don't have guaranteed money. Like,
that's because owners are cheap.
And then they don't even hit you with, like, you got to play 4 years to get your pension. You play 2 years.
Average career is 3.
You got hurt. 3 games.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
You play that and you get hurt in 2 years. Even if you was the man, it's like,
doesn't matter.
if you an undrafted guy or a late round pick, like,
you never get the shots.
You
get 1 or 2 shots.
You kind of going through something like that right now because you got your last year. Well, let's talk about your journey first before we talk about that. You started Chicago as a rookie.
Mm-hmm. Undrafted or drafted?
Undrafted,
yeah.
You spent about 2 years with Chicago. Your first 2 years with Chicago.
I got released at the final cut. Was at home the whole season. Went back to Chicago for a workout, like, I don't remember, week 12 or something like that. Workout was good. I didn't end up signing. And then literally like a week later, Jacksonville called and I got off the plane and thinking it was the same ordeal, and I was on the practice squad. Boom. Spent 2 weeks there, and then I went back to Chicago the next offseason and got released again. Final cut. Was at home for a couple weeks. And then Arizona called. And I did a little practice squad-ish couple years in Arizona and kind of on and off the active roster for the last 5 years.
5? Oh, you spent 5
2013 till 2017.
Right. So what was that? So, like, for a lot of people who don't know, for the football aspect of life, it's kind of explain what that feeling is like when you getting cut and spending time at home and then going to work out and then spending time at home. Like, just kind of talk about, like, what that feeling is like. A lot of people don't understand, like, the football life in the sense of what we go through. Because everybody just see the glitz and glamour.
They see like the big balls making millions.
Goes into it.
Yeah, they see the guys that are like franchise players that are like locked into a place for 6 years.
And they always think of if you don't make an NFL team or if you get cut, it's because you're not good. But necessarily, it's not always that.
No. And there's so many guys that you're looking at that aren't playing, that could be playing, should be playing, but
right here.
It's just go ahead.
Right here.
Go ahead.
I'll say it right here. I should have been in NFL for the last 7 years.
No, I agree. I was there with you. But, you know, it's like you said, it's just one of those grinds. Like, you spend your whole life, and this is what you know, this is what you want to do, this is what I'm going to do. You have the opportunity to do it. You get to that part of the NFL. You get to the NFL, you're there, and there's a whole, I mean, people hate to hear it, but there's a whole bunch of politics that goes on. Because you got to think about it. You got an undrafted guy here that is just as good, if not better, than that second, third round pick that you picked.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, oh man, I gave him what was it, $8 million signing bonus, $2 million signing bonus.
Any type of money.
I'm paying him all that money, so you know, and I understand it from a business standpoint. It's like, I'm not gonna let this this dead money walk.
No.
I said I made this decision as a GM. Like, I gotta. You know, even though he might be better, which, you know, it sucks. Yeah. Because we sitting here, but it's like the money issue.
Exactly. And you'll see those guys. I mean, I finally he got paid, and I'll shout him out. One of my good boys, Spencer Pulley, center for New York Giants. Yeah. He was undrafted to the Chargers same year I was. Lowest paid undrafted guy, too, bonus-wise. Out of 26 undrafted guys that year, he was the lowest. And he played in every game that season. Started every game the season after at center, and then he just got his contract signed for 3 years for $9.6 million, 1.25 signing bonus. All power to him. But this is the journey that he had in San Diego.
Yeah.
Max Turk was a center, same draft class, but he was a third-round draft pick. All right, and I hear rumors. Now this is a rumor. The rumors that his dad was like the accountant for the Spanos family that owns the Chargers. So there might have been something going on there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. That, and again, I haven't don't have that documented proof, but that's what I heard.
Yeah, it's just.
And he gets there and Spencer's locked in. You know, I learned how to watch film from this dude. He's studying the whole time. Max Turk was working pretty hard too, but like this kid, he couldn't snap the ball. Couldn't do it. Shotgun snap, like once, twice practice at the time. I don't know how he's now. Once, twice practice at the time, bro. Rolling it back to Phillip Rivers. Rolling it. And to the point where gets back at one point and Phillip just walks up to the balls. It's rolling back to him. Just goes, golly, and kicks it. It was hilarious. But still, Max still dressed every game that season. and you had Spencer, who's playing the same position, actually playing. And then next year goes around, next offseason, who's starting in the offseason? Max.
Mm-hmm.
Max, until Coach Lynn was like near the end of the camp, was basically like, no, I can't. Like, you can't have him snapping the ball.
Nah.
And then Spencer started all year. And then I think they released Max's that last offseason before this past season.
Yeah.
But like, it just goes to show, like, it doesn't, like, Max got like 10 opportunities to start in front of Spencer, even though Spencer was performing the whole time.
Way better.
But he got Spencer, like, he's a story that he got paid. So he made it through the undrafted. He made it past the undrafted thing. Life-changing money.
That's big.
Congrats,
man. That's really all it is. You just have to find, especially as an undrafted guy, you have to find that place where they want you, where they can use you, where they know, like, where you fit in perfectly. And it's a hard thing to do as an undrafted guy. You land in one spot and you could be just as good, but your career could float by real quick, just
really
being
quick.
a doing. It's like, it's over with. You look up and it's over with. Like,
Yep.
And it had nothing to do with your play. I mean, everybody can say what they want, like, on the outside, but obviously if you still sticking around and you still on the team, you don't suck. They see something where you can play. This is the highest level of football you can play.
Yeah.
If you're not good at this game, you will not be in camp.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
I've seen it happen. I've seen cats come in OTAs, off-season workouts. By the time they let you throw the ball, you just can't catch the ball. Bye. You're not going to make it to OTAs.
Yep.
Like, that's a bad feeling. You can't make it to OTAs, like, especially if you've been brought in.
Yeah.
You sign a contract. I'm not talking about rookie minicamp.
Nah.
That's a lot of people hit the rookie minicamp as a tryout, and that's it. It's just a tryout. But I'm talking about guys. It's like you sign on the dotted line, and you coming in, and you can't catch the ball. You gone. It's
that simple. Yep. It is that simple.
So for somebody to say, like, especially on the outside, and for fans to be, oh, he's trash, he's sorry, this and that, like, nobody is sorry that is playing in the NFL. I hate to break it to you.
Nobody's sorry playing pro football in general.
Exactly.
Any professional sport, I don't care if they're not as good as this person, they not sorry, or they wouldn't be here in the first place.
Exactly.
Because there's a lot of athletes, and you talk about it. Division I alone, you got what 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 guys coming out every year, and that's just Division I.
Yep.
And now you talk about NFL, well, now they're looking at guys in Division II, guys in Division III.
Yep.
They pulling basketball players. They
Yeah,
pulling Australian
NAI
rugby
is
players.
getting looks nowadays. I mean, think about it. Now that you look, even at the combine this year, you had so many Division II guys in the combine.
Yep.
It's a whole different beast now. Back then, and even when we was coming out, it was like, if Division II gets drafted, it's gonna be like, it would be high.
It would be the
If you got drafted
like
high,
guy.
you was like,
Yeah.
you was somebody that was around. Like what was his name from Midwestern State? Went to Carolina, Sela Tula or something.
Oh
like that.
yeah, Amini.
He played in my conference in college. We came out the same year. Second round pick from Midwestern State. Now he was a dog on that O-line in college. Like it was, he earned everything he had, but it's like that was kind of like, there's always been small school guys, but it's like now it's like they're more paraded.
If you're so good, you're gonna get noticed.
Yeah.
Like, if you're so good, if you're just like that dog in the entire conference, like, you'll get noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it used to be like you had to be that dog in the entire conference to get noticed. Now it's kind of more like, well, there's enough attention there.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're gonna find some more guys. Still probably not obviously not as much as like the D1, especially the majors, but like they will find guys.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you can find them anywhere.
They picking up every rock possible now. It was a dude Minnesota drafted, a guy out of Germany.
Oh yeah.
A few years ago, the Patriots tried out the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Really?
the world's strongest man. Yeah, a few years ago. Obviously, there's no way that fool could move.
Yeah,
but like, I mean, he's like 390 pounds, like 7'3".
But you're thinking like,
yeah, I mean, he's the world's
stick
strongest
somebody
man.
in the middle of that D line and just make something happen.
Yeah, but I just don't think he had a lot of like, the only functional strength he has goes towards like the strongest man stuff.
I was about to say it's probably.
But yeah, it's literally like they are looking for freaks, and they're gonna find freaks if they look under every rock. Like,
Man, you gotta think about it. The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, he played at University of Miami.
He did, yeah.
He couldn't even make it in the CFL.
No, he couldn't.
Let alone the
that dude's a
NFL.
freak. That dude's a freak. And
that
that's why
dude's
you hear
a
about
freak.
like Sean Oakman too. Like, he's a freak of
But that's
nature,
not
but he's
even
not
him.
a football player.
That's
not
not
his
even
fault.
his problem though. Did you see the whole situation? Like,
I'm not even talking about his situation.
No,
I'm
I
just
did
saying
the whole-
like,
Yeah, but
like
that's
him
the
as a player.
situation is
Yeah.
what kept him out of the NFL. 100%.
he'd be in the NFL right now.
100%.
If it wasn't for that.
Just size alone.
Dog.
Honestly, wasn't that crazy? He wasn't that crazy
mean,
good of an end. He was
he's
just a monster.
Yeah, he's big.
Yeah.
He was. I mean, he
has nothing to him. He's just a monster. He will overpower you every once in a while.
That's what I'm saying. It's just it's to that point where, and that's a whole nother topic for another day. Where
what he went through.
What he went through. But
guys go through that all the time, man.
It's crazy to think about that you lose everything off of a lie.
Yeah.
I mean, some guys get lucky, like Joe Mixon. I mean, it could have killed him, but he was lucky.
Yeah. Yep. It's just it's. Like I said, it's a whole different topic for another day.
So talk about you spent 5 years in Arizona. Kind of talk about that locker room. You've been around arguably one of the greatest receivers in football, in Larry Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
Just talk about what it was spending 5 years in Arizona, being around like elite Pro Bowl football players like Patrick Peterson and Larry Fitzgerald and guys like that. Like what was the Arizona locker room like? You spent your time there.
We had a good locker room. I mean, obviously. When you get to like be around and learn from guys like Larry and Patrick and Tyron, Carson Palmer, Drew Stant, stuff like Frosty Rucker, big name guys, you know what I'm saying?
Hall of Famers in there.
The guys have been doing it. And then you get to play with young guys come in like David Josh, guys like that. Calais Campbell.
I delivered turkeys with Calais Campbell my senior year of high school.
It's crazy guys like that. It's just
that dude was huge.
It's a good vibe. And the good thing was everybody was cool with each other. It wasn't really a lot of bad blood. And even if there was bad blood with people, it wasn't like out in the open. You know what I'm saying?
It was they handled their business.
Everybody handled what they needed to handle. At the end of the day, we got to go out as a team and play this game. And if you bickering with him and y'all worried about each other during the game, you know what I'm saying? But as a receiver, my favorite thing to do was, I wasn't a starter, so I did a lot of scout team.
Yeah.
I loved scout team. Like, just from a competitive standpoint, I'm super competitive. So, for the fact that I get to go against Patrick Peterson and Tyrann Mathieu every day, and Gerard Powers back when Gerard was here, guys like that.
Wasn't Dominic Rogers-Kamara there too for a while?
I wasn't here when he was here.
Oh, that was earlier.
But I'm saying, all of them. And then you had, Tyvon Branch was here.
Dogs, though.
We had dogs in the secondary.
Yeah.
Antonio Cromartie was here.
Antonio Cromartie.
There you
Maybe
go.
that's what I'm talking about.
That was another one. It was if you go out there and you win that battle, it's
you feel good about yourself that day.
Obviously, the first one, I'm telling you, the first time I caught a ball on Patrick Peterson, if it was okay to run around and yell it across the neighborhood, you just don't do that at this league. This league, it's you have to believe that you are supposed to be here, or you'll never make it.
Right.
If you out here saying oh man, it's Patrick Peterson, I can't go out, I can't win this. Bye.
Yeah. All right.
Bye. You can't win against him.
Especially practice squad. That's pretty much a week.
It's mental too, and it's true even when you go to college, because I know dudes that went to college and were really, really hurt by the fact they're redshirting. Whereas for me, for example, I knew I was redshirting wherever I went because I was so little, so it didn't hurt I treated it the same way you treated the scout team, and when I was
it's
on scout team,
opportunity to beat somebody that's better than you.
Exactly. I was like, oh cool, I'm gonna go against Dion Jordan every day, who was 3rd overall draft pick in 2010 or something like that.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, 2013. And I went against him every single day, and it makes you so much better. And when you do eventually beat him, I pancaked him one day, and our O-line coach is pulling up the clip this is what our scout team is doing to Dion Jordan. And then we pull up the next clip, and it was ones versus ones. Dion's shitting on him. He's like, so what's going? Do I need to start? Do I need to pull Johnstone's right? And I'm just sitting there in the back, just stroking myself. Just yes, I am a good football player. Tell them.
Yeah, but
that's what's important to do. But again, if you are one of those guys that's out there and you're I'm on scout team, or I'm redshirting.
If you think about it like that, then that's how you are going to. That's how the rest of your career is going to look. That's how you're going to approach everything. Oh man, I'm not a starter. Become a starter. Find a way. Even if there's a political aspect in that's not going to happen, at least give yourself the benefit of the doubt if it has to come into play. But
exactly, and that's the thing. It's if you're going against somebody that is better than you, it's all right, well, they're better than me right now, but what can I do every play to try to get an edge on them eventually, and eventually be better than them?
Shit, a lot of guys don't even know the league is word of mouth.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so if you balling on practice squad for another team, even if there's not a spot for you there on that team, they're gonna call one of their buddies and go, listen, hey, I need to go get this kid because he could ball.
And football is such a close family. Like football in general is such a close family, and each league is a family of its own. And when you are around enough guys, you will always talk good about the guys that you like.
Yeah.
And that like you worked hard, and that's good for the culture. Because if you go upstairs and you have a guy that's kind of a bum for the culture, but like an undrafted guy, it's like, why did you want to give that guy a shot if he's like has a chance to? Like I've heard that he's a bad locker room guy. So why bring in a guy that like I could bring in a guy that maybe even not as good as him.
And
just
that's another thing right there.
It's just like
if you get a rep to where you are a bad like all you do is sit back there and like and complain about everything, it's gonna go around too.
And even
like
if guys aren't
saying,
saying
word of mouth.
And that's the thing, if somebody comes up to you and asks you about that guy, even if you don't say anything bad because you don't want to be an asshole, if you don't say anything bad about him, you still won't have anything good to say though either.
Exactly.
You just be like, yeah, he was all right, like you know what I mean. But you want people being like, oh yeah, that was Brittan Golden, like he was going against all these our secondary at Arizona, who's one of the best secondaries in the league right now.
Yeah,
like and he's coming with it every day, and he's like, he's showing flaws in our game that we need to improve on, like. That's something positive you could say. You know what I mean? So it's like you need that around the league.
Even back to your question with the locker room area, like to be able to sit in a meeting room with guys that have been doing this, that are perennial all pros and pro bowlers and been doing it for years, like how they practice, like you in your head when you're young, you picture like, oh, he's in high school when you was a man, it was like you know what, go ahead and get that rep, like, but like. You would in your head, that's what you're thinking. Like, oh man, this dude, he's been a pro bowl the last 8 years in a row. He makes $19 million a year. Like he ain't, but like, Fitz practice every day.
Doggy dog.
And even if he had a day off, like even if he wasn't practicing that day, I mean, like he's on the field with a script in hand, like
he's locked.
He's in the huddle. Like there'd be times like
he's taking mental reps.
I would do his reps on some Wednesdays when he wasn't practicing, but it's like. He's in the huddle with us, and he's like...
He's not taking the day off.
Extra thing in your ear, like, you know what's going on, but, it's like, hey, Britt, it might be cover 2. Remember what, stuff like that. Like, it could be cover 2. You got banged down the middle on this, or single high. Make sure you keep it up to, stuff like that. To where, to have somebody in your ear of that caliber that is on your side...
Yeah, that's big.
That wants you to succeed...
That's big for your confidence.
Is huge for your confidence. So the locker room we had, like offensive and defensive wise, I think there was like a lot of that going on because like even young guys that came in, you could see on the secondary Pat back there, and he's like, "Hey, this is what you got." So all of them, all the DBs we have are like helping everybody.
That's big coming from vets because a lot of vets they know like. They don't want to help young guys because they know their job is on the line. They're trying to keep their job. So you got the salty vets who won't help you. Won't.
And
say
what I've
nothing.
seen from those salty vets too is if there's cuts going on, they're the first ones in the room gone.
Oh yeah,
first ones in the room gone.
You just gotta be. I mean, don't give away all your secrets, obviously, but it's okay to nurture, help.
Yeah, and I think too that helps players as well. Like if you become a coach. Well, it's not just I'm not just sitting back there taking a mental rep. It's like I'm so engaged that I am telling this person what I would be doing, and so that I've already gone through what I would do and why I would do it. So you're critically thinking about the game too, and to a point where you're teaching somebody else. Yeah. That's going to solidify your own knowledge as well. 100%. So it's going to help. Like Larry, it's going to help Larry coaching you up.
Agreed.
So it's like I don't know. I feel like the best understand that.
What's the biggest thing you got from being around such a great player like Larry? What's one of the things that you kind of like? Emulated from him that you thought you could add to your game to kind of help elevate you?
Probably just his approach, like in practice was the same as a game for him. Like, and we had whatever the play was, and he knows what he has to do, but he's going to run that route and mimic like it's Sunday. Like it's going to look the exact same in practices on Sunday because he knows that if I don't run this 100% in practice, it's going to be, I'll get to the game and I'm trying to run 100%, but I'm not really comfortable with what I'm doing because it's been a whole different type of, but he just, from his, film study, and I think a lot of it was how he takes care of himself.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it has to do with money. Don't get me wrong. He can afford a lot more stuff than other people can, but like, when you're that big, you think people are, but he is like, he's on it every day. There's a different thing that he's doing, with whether it's ice tubs or we had a cryo chamber at the Carter's thing.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. What he's eating, stuff like, all that type of stuff. Massages, but he was on top of all of it. It was all set up. He had it done ready to go all week. Like he was what they call him. He's like a pro's pro. Yeah. He's a true professional with everything he does on and off the field. So it's, it's good for a young guy to be able to come in and like, this is your standard.
Yeah.
Like this is what we're looking for.
Yeah. And
to be able to replace like whoever they've got in here now that's gonna, whenever he's done, God knows how long he's gonna continue to play.
Yeah.
It seems like every year it's like, oh, he might be retiring, but it's like
past 4 years.
I mean, why? Like, as an organization, you have to be like, you just got to be handing money out.
You'll never be able to replace a player like that.
Because you're like, I don't want you to leave. Like, hey, we'll get. What do you want?
Like, stay here. Like, be a coach, but go practice too. Like,
and it would be different if he was not performing.
Yeah, exactly.
If he was 34 and he's not going out, and he's, it's like, oh, he's 34. Yeah. He's not.
Yeah. You've never heard nobody say Larry looks like he's losing it.
You know what I'm saying? And he's in the last other than this year, I don't know what the final stats for him were this year, but like the last 2 or 3 years that I was in Arizona, I know like 15, 16, and 17 for sure. He was like 1,000-yard guy. In the 30s, and everybody's oh my God, some dude's in his 30s, he lost everything, can't play no more. You like, bro, what are you talking about? That's just outside noise, and all them analysts that don't get me wrong, a lot of them play. They just need something to bullshit about, to talk about, and it's like his age. And
you have to run news about football all day. And how
we're talking about age. Antonio Brown just re-upped at 30 years old.
Yep.
Man, he making 19 M's a year at 30 years old.
Must be nice.
Woo! Generational wealth.
I'm telling you, so it's kind of...
speaking about Antonio Brown, I like what he did, though.
He finessed and did exactly what a lot of people
He did what all of us dream about wanting to do.
In his position.
Tell the story.
So, basically, he leveraged the power that he has as a player and kind of took it to another level to force a team's hand to give him exactly what he wanted.
Yep.
You never get exactly what you want.
What he got out of this, though, like, not only did he come up, like, his contract was good, but now he just added, $20 million to what he was?
30 million.
30 million more than what he was going to do. So it's like, you're sitting here thinking, like he said, he leveraged and got exactly what he wanted. The Steelers have $21 million in dead money right now. And all they got was a third and a 5th round pick.
They had to get rid of him, and he forced that. Yep. He basically helped whatever team he was going to. He helped him.
And it's like what's going on with Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah,
Le'Veon Bell was like, I don't want this again. And it's hard, you got to think about it, especially on the outside. I understand what some of these fans are thinking. Like, he just started, like, he had 14 million on the tag that he was gonna have. Everybody's like, he's an idiot, blah blah blah. But when it comes down to it, like,
it's business, man.
Everybody thinks that we supposed to be the puppets for everything going on. Yeah. But like you said, it's business. We're treated as part of the business. If you think about it, at the end of the day, we sign a contract. You sign a contract anywhere in the workforce, anywhere else other than the NFL, that the CEO is obligated to pay you your contract unless you do something that qualifies you to be terminated.
Yep.
In here, you won't even see the field. Oh, he's terminated.
Yep.
Ain't got nothing to do with your plays. Like, we don't like him no more. Or you get a whole new
now,
regime.
Free agency, a lot of guys getting cut for cap reasons.
For cap reasons.
So it's like, it's just to the point to where how he did that. And Le'Veon Bell he said, this not what I want. I want a long-term deal. This is what I mean. I have been on your franchise tag for the last 2 years, and I have balled. I've been one of the top running backs every single year.
Yep.
It's like, why is it so hard for you to give me what I want? And it's just at the end of the day,
I know that, Phil.
You just can't. He did what he had to do, what he felt was right in his head, in his heart. He was like, I'll sit out of football. I'll wait till the thing's over. I'll become a free agent. We'll see what happens from there. We'll see what shakes. Luckily, it didn't come to that for Antonio Brown. He didn't have to sit out a year.
No.
But at the same time, what Le'Veon Bell did kind of fueled what AB did right here. And AB he reaped the benefits.
He took it to a new level.
Yep. He reaped the benefits of Le'Veon's
holdout, basically.
Basically his holdout.
Mm-hmm.
But, we all know how great of a player Le'Veon Bell is, and he's gonna come back. Everybody, he's been out. He's gonna come back.
That'll be fun.
And he's gonna be in the top 3 conversation of running backs at the end of the year. You know, God willing, he stays healthy and everything. You know, you don't wish anything bad upon anybody.
No, never.
Be that, you know, but
no, you're right. He will be a top 3 again.
He'll be a beast.
Yeah.
There's not too many running backs that can catch the ball as well as run the ball. As like, I mean, there's a handful.
And he's not like old. Like, he just took a season off. Basically, his body's going to be so fresh,
super fresh,
so fresh, ready to go. Oh,
it's
my
actually
God.
smart for him to sit out.
I mean, it probably took 2 years off. I mean, added 2 years to his career. If you think about it.
Yeah, honestly.
As a running back,
yep,
it's almost as bad as you guys.
Yep. No, running back has the quickest turnover. Like their an average running back career is like 1.5 years.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like
they say once you hit 30 as a running back, they look at you like you're a dinosaur.
I mean, and the funny thing is they've been trying to do that to AP for the last 4 years. Like, what? Man, he had a 94-yard touchdown run this year.
That man's a freak. He came back in 6-7 months after an ACL tear
and
like
almost broke the record.
He
was 9 yards short of the rushing record.
Yep, 9 yards
off of an ACL tear.
That man, he's different.
And he's another one like this that is like all about taking care of himself. He does everything he's supposed to do to make sure that his body.
Him as well?
Oh yeah, I played with him a year in.
He was here. I forgot he was here. Yeah.
Everything he does is to prepare himself for Sunday. I'm talking walkthrough is not walk through the AP. Get out of the way. He is running. He is running like he's gonna run on Sunday in every. We had a bye week when we brought him in. We were on a bye week. Handoff. Oh, buddy, guard was in the hole. Get out the hole. Like they were like, chill, so walk. It's not a walk. AP is here to play.
As an old lineman, you hate guys like that in practice, but in games, you love blocking for them.
Exactly.
Because he's going like, and it's just we've been watching AP for his entire career. We've seen him in Oklahoma,
college.
We watched him. That was like in us in Texas. We watched his Texas highlights, high school highlights.
Yeah,
phenomenal. He had one highlight where he jumps over a guy, and while he's in midair, trucks another man. Lands and goes and scores.
I'm gonna pull out that clip soon.
You gotta find that thing. Well, I remember watching that. I was like, man, I wish I was like 200 pounds so I could play running back. That life ain't for me, boy. I was in high school weighing 145.
Nope.
Yeah, me on the outside.
So now you just signed with the New York Giants.
I signed the futures with New York in January. Yes.
Congratulations on that.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, because you spent what? You spent the entire 18 season at home.
Entire 18 season at home.
What's like? Explain to people like what the feeling that you have as a guy who's been playing. You've been on a team for 5 years. You've been contributing, whether it be practice squad or in games, because you made a lot of big highlights as a special teams and receiver. You caught some touchdowns. I remember. What was the best play you remember from your time at AZ that you made in the game?
I mean, obviously, I got one touchdown in Arizona, and that was like it was a downpour in Miami. Like it was like flooding rain. Like it just dumping and it ain't stopping the whole game. And for some reason it just felt like every time our offense got the football, don't. And then when we had defense on the field, it was like, oh, we'll clear up for a little bit. And then don't, we had the ball. But it was like the whole game, and as a receiver and as guys that handle the ball, when all that rain's coming out,
stressed.
You're a little stressed. I don't care how good you are. That ball is slippery for everybody. So it's like, you just, in your head, you're like, look, when your moment is here, you got to make it. I know that the elements are not in your favor, but it was a 3rd and 9. Carson threw me a ball in the end zone. I saw it go up, and everything in my head was like, this is your moment. This is the one you've been waiting for. This is the touchdown you've been waiting for forever. Like, don't drop this ball. And I caught it, scored, and we were losing still at the time. So everybody was like, "Why you ain't celebrate?" I'm like, "I'm not gonna be that idiot." Come on, man.
Yeah, that's like, smart because a lot of young guys, all they're thinking about it. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's always thinking about themselves and thinking about the moment. But
I was like, "No, sir. Now you're not gonna have me on."
That shows great maturity.
All like that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna internally celebrate this, and.
What was going through your head? You caught your first NFL touchdown?
My mind was blown. It was just like, you finally did it. Like, my thing was, I caught 33 touchdowns in 2.5 years of college.
Jesus.
So it's like, I went 5-6 years without a touchdown. You just sitting there like, I mean, I had a couple in preseason.
Yeah,
that wasn't caught in Seattle. That wasn't during the season.
That wasn't a touchdown.
Oh, it was just a big play.
Yeah, I got caught from behind.
You got hawked?
I got hawked.
I thought you was a speedster.
Me too, bro. Hey, where's the excuse pile?
Yeah. What's the excuse?
Boy had
What's
a
the excuse?
bummy hamstring. But regardless, he was just. I got caught in the story. My excuse forever is my hamstring. It was I high grade 2.
Yeah.
Came back in like 4 weeks, but it was like it was never the same. I mean, they can call it an excuse all they want. Like, I mean, I'm I can come to grips with I got hawked. Whatever, it happens.
Yeah.
It's just, but that is one thing that I was like, I knew nothing was okay when I took off running. Like, I took off and it was like, you know that feeling you get when you feel it right there? You just like, if I can't get hurt again, I've already been hurt, bro. I can't get hurt again. Like,
just get to the line.
Just get to where you can get as much as you can, bro. So it was hard, like I thought it, but yeah, like that probably was one of the, and it's just like, like you said, getting to play, like catch the ball from like Carson Palmer, like guys that you've been watching before you got to the league.
I remember Carson Palmer from college when he won the Heisman.
Boy, #1 overall.
Beast.
Like, it's just stuff like that. Like, I mean, and there's always, you have so many instances, and I mean, I'm sure you have them too. From like when you first get to the NFL, it's like, we got to Chicago, and it was like Devin Hester is a return man.
And D. Hess was cool as all hell.
Really.
Brian Urlacher,
cool as all hell.
The most late, listen, I saw him at a track meet. I saw him at a track meet, it might have been last year or 2 years ago. Out here in Arizona, my old neighbors where we had a house, their son was in a track meet.
I think he lives out here. He
lives out here. I'm sitting in the stands, and I look up, and I saw him, and I looked down, I was like, yo, Lack is here. I was like, he don't remember me at all. And I turned back, and he looked down, and he made eye contact, he goes, Golden. I said, oh, Lord, my whole day was made. I'm 28, 29 years old, like, he remember, like, rookie year, when I walk in the locker room and you went in there with him too, it was like straight out of the building, like, hey, how you doing, Brian? Boom.
Yeah. He called me Chef from South Park. Every day I walked in, he'd be like, Chef, what's up, Chef?
Oh my God. But it's just cool. It's stuff like that. Like, when you get to meet guys that you have watched forever as a kid, and Briggs, Julius Peppers.
Yeah.
Charles Tillman, you have Matt Forte was there. Even Jay Cutler, bro.
Yeah, Jay Cutler, too.
I didn't like Jay.
I loved Jay.
When you were a receiver, he was nice to receivers.
Hey, listen, Jay had that. Jay had that wrong. Like, everybody got him all messed up just because of the facial expressions. Like, that was just Jay.
He was just so lax, bro.
He
never tied his cleats. He'd come to practice, cleats unlaced.
You want to talk about a cannon.
Throwing dimes.
Bro, I'm talking about off your back foot.
His arm was phenomenal. His arm was stupid.
That's crazy.
Stupid.
I couldn't imagine that.
But had touch, though.
That big of an arm, yeah.
He one of them that, like, got powerful arm, but it's like when he has to put, like, touch on the ball, he's not going to knock your head off when you're 6 yards away, It's like, that was Carson.
He could throw change-ups.
Carson had the smoothest ball I've ever caught in my life.
Really?
Like, you'd run a dig route, and it would feel like, okay. That's not, I swear, for me, like, when you run that dig route, it feel like everybody throw.
Yeah.
Like cat.
Yeah.
Like wham.
Yeah,
so you first time I broke off, I'm like, here it comes, and it's just like, whew. Like, either my hands have gotten amazingly better, or that was like catching a loaf of bread. Like, it was dope.
Like, does he throw like less hard, or he just?
No, he's got the velocity. He had just as hard a velocity as anybody else. It was just, some people have that touch. Drew Stanton throws a great ball. It's just one of them where it's just like.
Drew Stanton has to have an incredible arm because he's been in the league for God knows how long.
I don't even know.
But you got to think, Drew came in and did, like, he had winning records when Carson was out.
That's true.
I mean, even.
A reliable backup will stay in the league.
That's the thing, bro.
I always felt like backup quarterback was the greatest position ever because.
If you're reliable.
Yeah.
If you can come in and play, you could be a starter somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got guys like Derek Anderson. Who's been in the league for God knows. Derek Anderson's been in the league since I remember from high school.
Yeah.
He's still in the league.
It's insane to me, bro.
Josh McCown.
It's insane.
I mean,
Hey, Josh
he's had some
McCown is
start,
probably the most elite athlete I've ever seen in life.
hands down.
Real.
I've seen that man do a
In life.
360 dunk.
Bro, we was at Lifetime.
Lifetime.
So listen, in Chicago,
Lifetime Fitness.
we used to go to
basketball
Lifetime and play pickup games. So
Yeah.
Pep would be in there, like, and you know, Pep played college basketball at
at
UNC.
North Carolina. We're talking
So,
about elite basketball.
We're talking about elite. We're talking
Very
about guys who are elite football
Yes.
players, but were like, I'm talking about. I remember the first day we walked in the gym, I seen Josh, and I'm like, oh man, what the hell is Josh doing here? Like,
My thing
you
is,
know,
like,
look at him.
I
You
bet
look
he
at
can
Josh
shoot.
McGowan, he looks like a regular white dude walking down the street. You're like, oh, this guy's not an athlete.
He
Like,
could probably shoot. I bet he could shoot, which he could do that too.
Yeah.
But
I'm talking about like when he was warming up,
he threw it off.
he was throwing off the backboard and throwing it between his legs.
What?
Over 3 steps. Easy.
Listen, I was
Easy.
I was starstruck when I saw some of these NFL players.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was more starstruck than when I seen Josh McCown go between his legs.
Yes. Playing pickup ball. And then it was like when we started
That's
playing
so
games.
just to be able to throw up that athleticism.
One of
Bro,
the best athletes I've
the
ever seen.
Like, hands down. I've never
this was
seen
a-
a better athlete with my own 2 eyes than Josh McGowan.
He was at what, 30, 33, 34 years old at
Yes.
the time?
Jeez, I was gonna ask that too. I was like, how old?
Old, bro. But he's the greatest athlete I've ever seen, bro. Like, smooth. I'm talking about he was running down the court. He was crossing dude. He looked like white chocolate on the court.
Dude,
That's
the professor.
The straight.
professor.
He was crossing
Yeah. But will
dudes,
pull up from
throwing
anywhere,
no
too.
looks, pull ups, driving down the lane, cocking it back, and dunking on cats.
Like, I was sitting, I mean, it was like,
Dudes could have lost some. So he's the kind of guy like sleeper. Dudes could have lost some serious game.
if you didn't know him,
Bro,
if you didn't know him and you walk in the gym and he was like, you want to play, let's play
you would
one-on-one.
pick him up like,
whatever.
oh, he's a scrub. He's not gonna
I
do
got
nothing.
him. Like whatever.
I'll guard him. And he would
cook
embarrass
you.
the hell out of you.
You would be cooked. what little bean looked like, but you'd be,
Yo,
you would be
straight.
cooked.
Josh probably could have played in the NBA.
Guaranteed.
nuts, dude.
Bro,
Like just to be a white NFL quarterback.
And on top of that, you see that and you're complete. It kind of like
And it
lowers,
throws you.
It throws you because then you're in there with Julius Peppers, who is 6'8", 295 pounds.
Julius was in the I tried to guard him in the post one time. He drop step dunked on me like it was nothing.
But he will stand on the 3-point line and cross you too.
Yes.
That's the thing, like that
Savage,
people understand
bro.
too. It's like, yeah, you know people are crazy good athletes, like even though they're big, like especially some of these DNs and stuff that are like 300 pounds, whatever,
That's the
6'7",
thing.
and you're like, oh, like yeah, they're good athletes, they're out there and they're doing well against other good athletes, but you don't like when you go and
realize
try
how
to do
elite
those
they are.
things they do.
See, that's
It's
what
like,
fans
they're
don't get.
freaks.
And I'm not gonna let you
Fans
get
will,
mine.
fans will look at them and be like, "Oh, that dude's been a backup for years.
Yeah.
He can't. He's probably terrible. He's probably mediocre."
I'm gonna hold you away from a fire. I'm gonna toot your horn a little bit.
Oh shit! Hey,
It's
big fella
listen,
can ball, baby.
Big fella can ball.
Big fella can.
Really?
Hey, I'll
Listen,
take it.
nah,
Fuck it,
yeah,
I'll take
I was
it.
about to hold it
Hey,
for you.
big fella can ball, baby.
Hey, I'm not even
I'm a
like
sleeper.
we went in there. We went
I'm
in
a
the gym
sleeper.
a Lifetime the one time.
I
and
am not.
Double D walks in the door, and in my head, like I've known Double D for maybe a couple months now, a month now. So in my head, I'm like, he cool. We been hanging out. Like we clicked at the beginning. We was cool people. But I was like, Double D cool. First thing out of my mouth was, "Come on, Doug. You can't come in here and hoop with us. Like, what you mean? You're not gonna be able to hang with no boy." First time he got the ball, boy, we sitting here. I'm on his team.
Yeah.
And I'm in the corner, like I'm spotted up. I'm like, "Hey, clap it. Hey, come on!" He just jogging up, come to the 3-point line and just. I said, I look over there like,
All right.
So I in my head, I'm like, we cool. 2 more trips down the thing. Wow. Then he get the ball and he doing the thing. I said, this 300 plus man can move. You look at 300.
That's why he's got the feet to be a tackle. You know what I
Yo,
mean?
this is crazy. One of my boys just tweeted that the other day. He was like, "Yo, I tell my friends all the time that I always tell my friends you probably one of the illest basketball players I've ever seen." But they look at you and they think that's how it was. Most people look at me and they go, "Big, wide body dude. Oh, he's big. He probably how much you weigh? Oh, 340. Oh, no, you can't move.
You ain't got no feet.
Oh, you ain't got no feet. You can't move." And I'm out there just keeping up with the gang because
Yeah.
I'm from New York, so we play ball. I played ball my whole life, so that's really the sport I'm really good at.
Yeah.
And I had offers to play Division I basketball, and I turned them down because everybody kept saying, "Hey, footballs are out for you. Footballs are out for you. You're gonna make it in football,
Yeah.
because you're a big dude and you're athletic and
Exactly.
yeah, you're gonna stand out." But me, I always thought, growing up, I thought I was gonna be the next Charles Barkley.
That's
Really?
that's crazy
this,
though. That's so true though. Growing up in New York, I can't imagine there's no room for football fields. You play basketball.
I didn't play football. Technically, I didn't really start playing football until I got to college.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It's a different type of setup though. Like
Yeah.
from where I grew up, like how football is. Football is a religion in Texas.
Yeah.
Like where I live now in Katy, the Katy High School football stadium is $72 million. It looks it's bigger than Division I college.
Andy Dalton went to Katy.
Yeah.
But like they just dropped $73 million on a high school football stadium. Like,
Sell out every
it's
game.
sold out.
Every game.
They lost in the regional they lost in the finals. They lost to the was it North Shore, who won. I think they ended up winning state. They beat Duncanville at state, but like I
can't imagine playing high school. Like how cool it would feel playing
how
high
it
school
is
football.
in
Texas.
how it is in Texas to like, you know, it's like in other than southern states, Alabama, Louisiana, it's all kind of like, but like when you go up north, and it's like you talking about high school football, and you know up north, like you said, they like they got some ballers that came out of the north in football, but it's like up there when you go up and you talking about let's go, like you ain't talking about going to the park and throwing the football back and forth. We not playing 7-on-7 in front of school. No, we grabbing the ball, we going to the park, we going around the corner over here where the hoops at. That's all we do. We outside, inside, whatever it's got to be. They hoop up there.
Yeah, exactly. You're absolutely right.
It's a different culture.
That's so true,
man. So now that you're going, now you signed with the Giants, coming up season's futures deal. What is what's kind of your mindset now that you've been out of football for a year? You've kind of got a chance to sit back and kind of digest your career and kind of just see the big picture of things. What's your mindset now going into MetLife and walking into the locker room with Odell Beckham and what is it, the other man,
Sterling Shepard, Saquon, all them boys. Like it's like Evan Ingram, tight end.
Pulley,
center.
Hey, they got actually he's not there no more. He was there.
Kareem out there. Kareem Martin out there. But it's like I don't know, I just have this sense like everything is like it's like where you all gas. Like it's like this is it, bro. Like you set out a year, this is your opportunity. So like, you know, and I've had it, you know, I've been like underdog if you want to say it.
You've been underdog your whole career.
You know, so it's just like it's gonna be the same situation, but like I know I ain't gonna go in there and I'm not taking Odell's spot. It doesn't matter who you are. If you think you're going in there and taking Odell's spot, I don't care if you was an all-pro at somebody else's team. Mm-hmm. You're not gonna come on the Giants and be Odell. Odell is Odell. Yep. And he's earned every bit of what he has. He's dogged everybody since he's been in the league. He's been that guy. He deserved every part of that 94, whatever he got. Woo! But like, my thing is, I want to go in there and make it a point. And like I said, whether it happens, whether it not, but when I go out there every day, it's going to be like, hey, I want to be on this field while Odell's on this field. Like when we out there, I want to be, while him and Sterling Shepard, in my head, I want it to be Odell, Sterling, and me. Whether it pans out like that, we don't know. I just signed a futures deal. I'm not a high priority. I understand what it is, but I want to go in there with, if I get cut, it ain't because of how I played. Yeah. It ain't because of my play, my work. Like I want to be. Everything is like pedal to the metal. Like this has got to work.
Are you excited about going up to New York?
Dude, I'm pumped. The whole situation for the year, where I missed the whole year and all that, like how it panned out, and even I worked out for New York and had a good workout and could have been there. It's just like the fact that they called me back after everything, after the surgery and all that, and I re-signed with them. I mean, it was just like, it's like, you know, it's like one of them God things, you know, where it's just like, it was meant to be. Yeah. And like I said, whether we stay there, whether we don't, like just for the opportunity, it's just a blessing. Because not too many people that sit at home for a year get that opportunity to come back.
No.
So
most guys, once you're out, you're out.
I'm beyond blessed. I'm beyond excited. You should have heard when I first signed. I was like, I told my lady back home. I said, "Yo, I gotta call Double D right now." I'm going to New York right now. Like this is what's up.
You gotta get your New York lingo down.
I gotta figure out, yo, B. I can't do all that.
This, the third.
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, it don't matter who I meet. Everybody thinks we all talk. I mean, most of us do.
I went out and bought Tim's. I got Tim's at the crib right now. I was like, where?
Hey, you gonna need those for when it get cold.
No, I was telling her, in my head, I told her, I was like, look, I need some Tim's right now. She was like, but we don't even know if we gonna. I said, listen, I know that too, but I'm gonna be up there for at least a couple months. I might as well look the part.
Be dead of summer.
Yeah.
Walk around Tim's.
So you're familiar with these new leagues coming out? It has been
Yeah.
a hot topic the last couple of weeks. You know a lot of guys that play in the league. What's your thoughts on like the AAF right now?
Dude, I'm excited for that. I think it could be really good. As long as everything pans out, there's been spring league after spring league that pop up and go down the drain off rip. But I think this AAF is an awesome thing because it gives those guys that might have been at home for a year that opportunity. That guys know they can play.
Yep.
And these GMs for this AAF know they can play. And they've been on teams, guys that have been in the NFL and that have not been, and they have this opportunity to get back. And the best part about it is they don't rope you into a contract
that you can't get out of. Yeah.
That you can't get out of. If the NFL calls you, you have
going.
all free reign to go.
Yep.
And then if it don't work out, we still got your rights. We'll bring you back if you're under contract with us.
Yep.
So it's like, the competition is great out there. It's so fun to watch. We went the other night and watched when Arizona played the San Antonio team.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people. We both got people on San Antonio team,
Yep.
and I know a lot of people on the Arizona team. There's a couple of guys that played with us in the Cardinals that are playing for them, and so I think it's an amazing opportunity. I mean, before New York called, that was me. I was on that rope. I was like, look, I'm not done playing football yet. This can't be how I walk out. Like, if that's what I got to do, if that's the last road, if I go play an AF and I just can't cut it and it's just not, we don't want him, cool. But, like, for me, it's just, I love this game. I love playing football.
Yeah.
Sitting at home for a year was miserable.
Terrible.
I mean, I love my kids. Don't get me wrong. I love my wife.
You just had twins,
I
huh?
had twin boys. But, like, I've been itching for a while. I'm like, I love all you guys, but this is the first time Daddy been home and for this long in 7 years.
It's hard, man.
It's a different beast.
It's an adjustment.
So I kind of think everybody in my house ready for me to leave too. Daddy, you've been here for a while. It's time to go. But I think that AAF, as long as everything stays afloat and like money wise they stay good, I think this could be it could be an amazing thing.
Yeah, I think it'll be a game changer.
I like it. I think a lot of people rag on it, especially with us being in CFL. A lot of CFL fans rag on it, but I think that's part of the reason why, because it poses competition for the CFL.
And it will, for sure, especially for imports, because when you got Americans that go to Canada, you're losing so much money on that differential.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me that you can come out here and play 3 years in this AAF if you don't get called to the NFL?
Yeah.
And you sign a 3-year deal, you play all 3 years, you're gonna make $285,000.
Yep.
You take the taxes out of that, you're gonna walk away with $125,000
more because you're not getting taxed half.
Exactly.
Because each year you're not making six
figures.
figures.
So it's like you're making 70. I think they make 70 the first year in the AAF.
70,
Yeah,
80,
70,
And you're only
110.
playing for 10 weeks. You got 10 games, and then barring the playoffs, but there can't be that many playoff games. There's only 18.
You literally get $7,000. You get $7,000 a week, and then if you didn't get signed back,
go to
you have
NFL camp.
You have a full time job. You get half, and then double down on the income.
Off top. And the thing about it, the good thing about it is, if you have if you had a full time job and you got that call like, hey, do you want to come play this, and you take it, hopefully like you had your boss or whatever you do is like lenient enough to be like, oh yeah, can I take unpaid leave? That's all you gotta ask for. I don't need to be paid. Can I have an unpaid leave for
8 weeks?
10 weeks.
Yeah, 8
to 10 weeks. Like however this works. And then if it works and if you don't get that NFL contract in, you just go back to your job.
Yep.
And if you're still under contract, you talk to your boss and be like, look, this might be the case again next year. Mm-hmm. I've signed a 3-year with them. Will it be fine? Like I'm not being paid. Yep. I'm asking for it. You don't have to pay me. Just give me this leniency.
Yeah.
To finish out, to get this last little bit of football out of me, because I'm itching behind this desk. Like
yeah.
So it's just that XFL coming out soon.
Yep. And
that's going to be another one.
5 years of fun.
I heard the pay in that is even better than the AAF.
See, that's what's going to pose Canada. I'm telling you, y'all got a CBA problem right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So listen, if they don't get that situated, like.
Yeah.
I mean, Canada's been good to allowing you get to play up there. I mean, y'all have been you went up there and wrecked shop. Had a good time. I remember when I was sitting out here, you playing for the Rattlers.
Yeah.
I remember that. That day you got that CFL.
That's why Britt was my dog, because when I came to play with the
League
Rattlers after I got out the league, I mean, I was pretty much, that was like kind of like rock bottom for me. You know what I'm saying? Money from the league, the money I made, I spent a year on practice squad with Carolina.
Yeah.
Re-signed me, gave me $15,000, signing bonus, and signing futures, and then cut me right before OTA. So I was like, kind of like, damn, what's next?
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, well, the Rattlers always was calling my phone. I'm like, well, an arena thing, the same thing. You could go play in that. If the NFL calls you, you could dip, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, at least I'll still be in football shape. I'm still playing football. So at least, you know what I'm saying, make the transition. I remember when I first came out here, this was the first phone call I made. I called Britt, and he was out here with the Cardinals. And even though he was on P Squad, my dog like looked out for me. Yo, you good? You need a whip? Hell, here, take my keys. Go do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it helps.
Yeah, man. So, like, on that, I remember telling him, I'm like, yo, I gotta make something shake after. Like, this is do or die for me. Because if I don't make something shake out of this, my football career is pretty much done. And I got a chance to come up to Canada. And then I remember that next offseason, I was telling him, I'm like, I'm going to win lineman of the year. It's a done deal.
Offensive lineman of the year.
So tough.
I mean, it's cool, man. It's just like
people,
to be able to
people
see.
understand
like,
that grind, man. That grind is like this grind. That's why I tell people, man. Like when you see us and you like, oh, that dude's playing pro football. Oh, he got money. Oh, he's doing this. Not everybody who's playing got money.
No,
Not everybody who's playing get an opportunity to show their talents or their skill. And it's like for us, people understand. That's why I like the AF because it's like when you watch the games, you can see the raw emotion of how much these dudes love to play the game and how much they fighting to just keep their career alive.
Yeah, just to play, and even if they have no chance, like even if it's like, and we don't know that, they don't know that, but even if when NFL owners' heads are guys, GMs, they're like that guy's never gonna play again.
Yeah,
the fact that they go out there and like he said, like the emotion and how they play that game, the AAF, like this is my last chance. Like I love this game, I don't want it to be done. It's so like those games. I've watched every single one of them. Every week on TV. I mean, I'm at TV, and then we got to go to the one this Sunday. It's just like, these boys want to play ball. These boys are good enough to play in the NFL.
That's what I noticed the most is like you see how hungry the players are.
It's so exciting.
They're out there playing football. They're not just out there just kind
it's
of
good ball, man. It's real good ball.
They're having fun with it. That's the thing. It's not. I don't think it's so much. I mean, I've been talking to a bunch of the guys that like it's not as big of a business is how the NFL is run. Like you come to practice and you come to work and it's like it's fun. Like guys enjoy being at practice with these guys.
Yeah.
So it's like it's one of the days.
Yeah. No, we think it's gonna be a pretty good deal on this show too. It's just like again funding. We'll see how it pans out.
That's your only issue.
Exactly. That's the issue with every league that pops up. It's just like how are they gonna keep it rolling? Like where's the revenue gonna come from?
Right.
And that it needs to be profitable.
I mean, that's always the biggest thing with any startup league is always going to be where's the money going to come from, especially when you basically competing for a window of time when football is kind of like kind of dead. It's like a dead zone for football because that's the time when there's no NFL news, not much going on. It's just OTAs and stuff like that.
The only thing
that's
never big baseball
news.
And hockey and stuff like that. So it's like, how can we fit a football into this little section where there's no football that continues, like where people don't have to spend that 2-3 months of we ain't got no football going on. I mean, even OTAs, it gets people excited.
It does, yeah. Hype people up.
As long as they just get to know.
Spring games in colleges, sometimes some of the big schools they sell out their spring games.
We sell out
all the Power 5 schools, boy. They be selling
spring
out
games
spring
big.
games,
They be get televised on ESPN.
It's like a real game.
It's like offense versus defense.
But it's for real.
Yeah, no, spring games are crazy.
Yeah,
I hated playing the spring game when I was
man,
older.
appreciate you coming on, brother.
Appreciate y'all having me.
Best of luck for going up to New York. I know you're gonna kill it, man. You're a dog, and if people watch film, man, they know what you could bring to the table. I'm rooting for you. Definitely gonna need some tickets next season.
Yeah, let's
I know
go.
you're gonna make it.
You already know.
You know when I come
there,
back.
you know you're there.
That's automatic.
You already know.
Again, this Brittan Golden, wide receiver for the New York Giants, currently right now. Be sure you can plug your Twitters and you want some fans to follow you, follow the journey.
IG, Twitter, it's all the same. Just Brittan Golden. It's just my first and last name. That's it. It's easy. I didn't go crazy with none of that stuff. But that's it.
Follow up, everyone, and thanks again, Brittan. And yeah, man, good luck with everything, bro. We appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
Cool. So again, thank you to Brittan for coming through. Great insights right there about Cardinals locker room. Insights about the grind that it is to be a pro athlete, especially in pro football, and what it takes to be for Brittan. He has a great story. Be a Division II guy to kind of go undrafted and play 6 years in the NFL. Man, that's pretty amazing. So be sure to follow him along the journey and wish him the best of luck as he heads up to New York to go make MetLife his new home.
Let's go.
Yeah. So now we're getting to last 2 weeks. We've done the contest for the great supporters that we have at Caffeine and Kilos. So we're going. Tyler's going. I guess Tyler, now you can announce the winners that we have for the PR blend from Caffeine and Kilos.
Yeah. So the contest it was for you had to subscribe on YouTube, follow us on SoundCloud, and follow us on Instagram and submit proof. And so thank you to everybody that did that. So, we randomized the names, and the 3 names that came up for our victors, you're going home with a bag of Caffeine and Kilos coffee.
Yes, nice batch of some PR blend to get your day started.
Absolutely. And all 3 of these guys are great supporters of the podcast. Thank you so much to Joe Lazito. Big Joe Lazito. Lauren Goldenberg. And Russell Jonasson. Thank you guys so much. We really appreciate the support, the follows, because that's really what supports the podcast the most is just subscriptions and following. And you
fans
guys
are big, man. The guys who listen to us every week, guys who give us feedback.
Yep.
Actually, Russell's the guy who gave me the idea for the poker chips and the fine system. So yeah,
let's go, Russell.
Big supporter of the podcast. Loves tuning in every week. And for all the new fans that are coming in, we appreciate you guys. Keep supporting. We're gonna do some more giveaways as the offseason goes along and we get more episodes into it.
Yes, sir.
Just keep supporting us, and we're gonna keep showing you guys appreciating, because that's just like how it is for our playing careers. Fans support is what keeps us going. What gives us the drive to do what we do.
Absolutely.
Same thing here. Insights from the locker room. Fan support is major.
Yep,
major.
Exactly. That's the reason why we do this. So thank you guys so much. And at the end of this episode, make sure subscribe on YouTube, follow on SoundCloud, and follow us on Instagram. Because again, that's the best way to support us.
Yes.
But yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. Next episode, we're going to be talking about the CBA a lot because they are going to talks this week.
Going back to CFL topics, because yes, today was the first day for sit downs. CBA. We let's be realistic. We know nothing's going to get resolved too quickly, but the fact that they're now at the table is good news for us, because now it means stuff is going to start to get moved along, and as the season gets fast approaching, talks will pick up. These first 2 days probably just going to be a lot of blubber and flubber. It's not going to be too much.
Blubber and flubber.
Blubber and flubber, but it's a start. So yeah. We're hoping that things turn out well. Once the week passes by and we get some more news, we're going to have some more stuff to talk about for next week. So be sure to tune in for, episode 9?
That will be episode 9. This is episode 8.
Ooh, hey, I told you early in the show, we hit the rookie wall, so we're pushing through.
We're pushing through, baby.
We're grinding to make sure we get the content out there. I know there's a lot of people who support us, a lot of people who pay attention to the podcast. We're going to try to keep bringing great content to you guys, great insights from the locker room, and whether it be regardless of sport, MLB. We've had now Brittan is now our second NFL guest. So we got 2 NFL guys. We got an MLB guy. We had a couple CFL guys on here. And we're just going to keep going. Any players out there, if you're listening, you want to come on the show, hit us up, holla at us. We'll find a way to get you on here.
Whether it be Skype or whatever, you can come to the studio if you want to.
We're getting, like I said, we hit some technical difficulties the last couple weeks, but again, it was just hitting the rookie wall. We'll be sure to keep getting better at it. Thanks for tuning in. See you guys next week.
Take her easy.